Alright, hello. I'm in a Dracula mood today. So we're doing some randomizer. Pretty standard randomizer today. Shops, items, hammer, shops, items, drops, stat fix, and wizard mode. So, Burnett, thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate it a lot. You got the... Alright. Alright. So yeah, just, you know, normal. Let's see what we find right out the gates. Yeah, I hope you're all having a good weekend. Some Dracula dollars. Yeah, it's been a little while since I had done one of these, so it was just on my mind. Okay. Skeleton Knight's nice. Crimson Cloak. Okay, we can at least equip those, and the soul is actually more important. +4 strength is pretty good. Slightly quicker to go save and then quick save down here, but I had already started moving this direction by the time I thought of it, so yeah. Yeah, Tiny Devil, no. Alright. Don't you dare. Grapes? Ooh, already. -1. That's fine. Yeah. I don't know, this is just something that had been, on my mind as of recent. I think the last randomizer I touched was, Bloodstained, which is kind of hard to call a randomizer in the first place. Alright, Melphus? Melphus start, okay. That means I have everything normal to go get, and I could also go straight to death if I wanted. I will choose just to take the normal route. There's just so much stuff on the route that, like, leaving it till later is sort of the fool's errand. I wish their rando was better. Yeah, exact same. I have seen, like, I've played, like, 4 of them now, 3 or 4, and, like, they get incredibly samey incredibly quickly. Bloodstained, that is. Because the randomized drops and things aren't, random from a pool, they're random from enemies. And same with, like, the treasures, they're just, like, shuffling existing treasures, so... Skeleton. Skeleton dies to 20 damage, but not to 19. 1 health skeleton. How many bones you got there? Uh-oh. There we go. What else? A couple other people were talking about different randomizers and such that I've seen recent. Oh, actually, I can't do that without flying armor. There was some stuff friend Vprisoner had mentioned and showed me about Ancient Cave for FF5. Somebody had apparently made a, I'll take this, GBA version of that, so I'm interested in that a bit. Alright. Like, the last experience I actually can go. You know what? Maybe that's where I want to go. Let's quick grab this down here, and then maybe we go to Dance Hall. Because flying armor plus Melphus is dance hall access. That's the whole point. Alright, you a better weapon? Alright, finally. That's a real weapon. I love these fish. They're very good. Shining Force Recruit Randomizer. I would not, like, touch... I don't think I would do anything with a, Shining Force Randomizer as of right now, just because it's been a decade plus since the last time I played that game. Yeah, like, I've not touched that game in ooh, it's Mach Punch comparatively. Oh, Mach Punch is almost unequipped, it's just really fast. That's fine. That cash. RPG randomizers seem kind of sort of hit or miss. Trying to think of the one, like I said, I've heard a lot of good things about the FF4 one. I also know that I'm just not knowledgeable enough about 4 to play it. And I've had a lot of fun with Ancient Cave in the past. FF5. I think the thing is that, like, with randomizers, like, so randomizer here in Aria requires, like, if we're talking about, like, the base level to complete a randomizer, you're looking for, you need knowledge of, like, the game, like, oh, where Jaguar, yeah, but what about Giant Skeleton? Yeah, okay, we're just using that. That's an upgrade. You know, you need, like, a good amount of base knowledge about the game, its base progression, so, like, having played through it once or, you know, a couple times. And then a pretty close to full knowledge of all item drop locations. Like, so in Super Metroid, I would say you would need to have, like, you would need to know 100% route, right? In this game, it's a little higher than Super Metroid's ask. In an RPG, the knowledge level needed for, like, what I've seen in randomizers tends to be a much higher ask. Like, not only do you need, like, full knowledge of the pathing, the critical path, the abilities you might have, you need, like, near encyclopedic knowledge of, like, enemies, drops, just all sorts of things. Like, whatever capabilities you might have, all sorts of bits. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, just thinking about randomizers in general.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, randomizers probably work better in games where a skill player can complete the game in less than 5 hours. True, once you're... I mean, okay, so, one of the... Oh god, we are powerful today, holy shit. Yeah, give me lubricant right out the door, thank you.
Oh my god.
One of the older randomizers, maybe not the oldest randomizer I can think of, but one of the ones I've probably had a lot of time with as well as others, is the, like, Pokemon randomizers, the ones that randomize, like, and there's so many different tiers of what a randomizer looks like for Pokemon, right? That is to say, you can just choose to randomize, like, movesets and, like, that's it. You can randomize what Pokemon can learn. You can randomize stats, you can randomize evolutions, you can randomize trainers, wild Pokemon, you can randomize, like, the types of moves, all sorts of bits. It has a very wildly heavy range of options, and I like that a lot. Because, like, say there were just, like, one standard randomizer, and it was, like, the elemental randomizer, where, like, you just have to relearn that Ice Beam is actually rock-typed, and Flamethrowers... Wow, I'm at -2.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my thing with how far randomizer should go. There needs to be a certain degree of familiarity.
Yeah.
Like, just like an anchoring point, and then you can just get fucked up however you please, as long as you understand where it's coming from.
Yep. And to tie it all back, the randomizer options for Bloodstained look like they offer that, but there's just so much that is like tricks, traps, like settings you absolutely don't want to set up, and bits that don't function. Zangetsu Toe, the sword, seems to be one that I've seen repeatedly as this, like, if you're doing a full clear of that game, you need that sword to... It's effectively the glasses in Symphony. You need it to get past a certain boss fight by bopping a thing over their head, you know? Over Richter's head, right? But that item is not considered a key item, it's just a weapon. So, instead of being in key item locations, it can be anywhere. And it doesn't even seem to follow, like, logic, in the sense of, like, it could just be behind that boss fight. Good luck. Like...
Yeah, Medibot, logic breaks are kind of the big one when it comes to designing randomizers. You want to make sure that the game can be beaten no matter what kind of configuration goes through.
Yeah, I would say that of all the things I've said, that tops basically every other concern I've mentioned. Like, you know, like, obviously there are going to be players that are knowledgeable enough to want to play a randomizer of you know, even the most, like dense RPGs. You know, somebody goes and makes a, I'm trying to think of a good example, like, randomizer that doesn't exist. Some sort of saga randomizer would actually be the funniest.
Okay, now you're making me sick.
I have summoned you.
I'm trying to.
Hello.
I was trying to think of like the like most unreasonable knowledge burden that a randomizer could put on.
Holy crap. I could our randomized like spark list changes like to monster stats that are already very hidden. Like
Yeah. Yeah, there's a hard line between nasty configuration that requires, like, knowledge of everything and whoops, the scene you generated is incomplete, not completable. Like,
I mean, now you're kind of tempting me here. Give me some Romancing Saga 3 randomizer. Because I always, like, approach that game the same way. That could get me to switch it up. Especially if, like, partners are in different locations or have different unlock conditions somehow. I don't know how that would happen, but... Oh, yeah. Playing a randomizer of the capitalism minigame.
How could you tell?
How could you tell? Oh, yeah, right. The horse group now consists of 4 different subgroups than it used to, and... Yeah, no, the capitalism minigame is basically Blaze Ball. That's correct.
The you do the professor's dance and
Professor's right. All of your techniques have random effects now too.
Yep.
So the professor's dance actually subtracts instead of adding.
Well, I don't know Black Panther. I can't make that jump.
Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop speculating about that. An example that comes to mind of a randomizer of a like dense JRPG that I experienced and thought was like decently okay actually was Final Fantasy VI.
That's true. You did play through that one, right?
Yeah, because like if we're talking like key items and unlocks, there's nothing, right? Like the plot is the plot. That part has not been randomized away. Any like key items go in the same place they ever do, that kind of thing. So progress is the same, but literally everything else can change, like colors, monster stats, your stats, espers, spell lists. It felt like enough to make for an interesting experience, and honestly one that I kind of miss and think I should get back to. And one of the reasons that it works is one of the reasons all of these work, which is plasticity, shall we say, to player options in getting through the game in a basic sense.
Yeah.
Right, like you just need like enough damage, enough armor, any of your skills can basically work. And the second to final boss robs you of all your skills anyway, so you have to be able to deal without them.
Like it becomes much more difficult to make a randomizer of something when it has like an incredibly like rigid, like, you know, you must have X to be able to get past Y, right? Like like not like in a gating sense, but even like, you know, like if I were to need, like, I could only damage big golem with hammers. I don't know, like, you know, that level of like just this super.
The game basically won't let you progress without this specific moveset or workflow.
Yeah, again, I've heard a lot of good things about the FF4 one, so the only reason I've not tried it is that, like, watching Kaz, you and Gnome play through it, I realized that my knowledge of FF4 is, like, just, I feel like, 0, nil. Like, I
Right. It's like, yo, man, where would you even begin with something like that? And from what I can tell from like watching other people do the randomizer of it, the free enterprise.
Yes.
It's it does basically require a whole hell of a lot of knowledge, almost to the tune of a Zelda randomizer, which is something that I despise. I tried to play the Zelda randomizer, and all it reminded me of was how little I like Link to the Past. Like, it was real cool when I was a kid, and it was newish, and there's nothing like that.
Link to the Past, that randomizer specifically feels like if we're putting like on just like platformers, or like, you know, like if we have like a continuum. Ooh, Milliken's sword, actually. Of like amount of like base level knowledge required versus like, you know, to get in. Like, you know, if you're doing Super Metroid, the completion of that randomizer in general, like if you're playing like the basic mode, is like you're going to need to know, you know, about, you know, 100 item locations, and like maybe a couple techniques that aren't super easy to do.
For Super
like maybe
in particular. Go ahead.
Oh.
For Super Metroid in particular, I would say if you have completed Super Metroid, then you could do the randomizer like basic mode and succeed. It might take you a while, and you might have to search out things that you didn't know where they were the first time, but you could succeed. I'm pretty confident of that.
Yeah, like completing it is probably the baseline level of logic that you should expect out of a player in any given randomizer. And like, there are a couple of instances where you would, you know, maybe need to know certain techniques in order to look at a couple certain item locations, but by and large, the randomizer should not be putting them in areas that do not require the base understanding of how to complete the game.
And that comes back also to the talk about like settings and being able to kind of choose, like, okay, is this seed going to require gravityless Meridia?
Yeah, like, do we do suitless Meridia? Or do we require Aghaden's Tower, or require traversing dark rooms? Talking about Link to the Past.
And with Link to the Past, like, I feel that has a much high from having played it. I think I've done close to a half dozen randomizer playthroughs. Mistletoe, nice. I really am happy with Milligan's sword, by the way, because it's rare that you get it. Like, you don't get it early enough in the game to use it.
Yeah, it's
one of those Velka's rapier items where it's like, by the time you find this, it's already outclassed.
Yeah.
You got it in a room that had multiple monsters who could be stoned, which is just sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things that I like about this randomizer. It's putting the spotlight on a bunch of weapons that have value earlier in the game than they are actually earned.
Yeah.
And you're starting to feel that.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Link to the Past, I remember when I first played through it, I was playing through it on, like, 2 sets of knowledge. One was, like, just having seen a couple other people having played through Link to the Past, and myself having played through the game years prior. So a lot of, like, old memories and, like, you know, oh, okay, this is a, you know, this dungeon, it's this boss. Like, I might be able to, I'd be able to tell you, like, you know, you need the fire and ice rod to beat Turtle Rock, but that's most of what I remember about Turtle Rock, not anything in the internal. What that meant was that the actual amount of knowledge you do need for that randomizer in particular is just such a higher amount. Like, you're a lot of the times you're going to need to know not only like effectively every item location in the game, because who knows where boots might be or something.
Right.
But
I mean, it's not only every item location, but there are something like 400 of those locations in the game in total.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's at least 4 times as much as in Super Metroid, and the ways that you traverse Super Metroid are quicker. Like,
And the other part of that is that, like, you also need to know a lot more movement combos, and these are things that, like, are, like, completely not within even the base game.
yeah, I mean, well, now we're getting into the difference between, like, completing these and doing them, like, fast, right? Because there's a whole lot of speed tech to The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past randomizer, and none of it should be necessary. For instance, the dark rooms that I was talking about, the things as they are generated do not force you to go into a dark room without the lamp. It's always possible to get the lamp before you go to those, but no one does it because that one's a mimic, by the way. Because they all, because they've all done the dark rooms enough times that it's just like, well, it's faster to do it this way because I know my way through. And when you're watching one of the game's hyper experts, very rarely are they, like, explaining their thoughts. They're just sort of going through as quick as they can, right? And it's got a pretty big competitive scene too, so
Yes.
it feels like the
That was kind of what drew me to watching it, was that it was like, oh,
Right.
this is something that it's been at GDQs multiple times now.
yeah.
Folks have put a lot of stuff into it. Like, probably more than any other randomizer I've ever seen, the Link to the Past randomizer epitomizes, like, quality of life
Items for
stuff.
sale. That's some armor.
So,
Oh,
so the
okay.
armor for sale is cloth tunic and the best armors in the game. Those are you, and guess what I'm wearing? I already have a cloth tunic.
Right.
But yeah,
It's basically like, when I think Link to the Past randomizer, I think, wow, check out all these goofy fucking costumes I can put Link in while I do all this.
Right.
that's a,
And like, ooh, the other thing I think of is how perpetually frustrated everyone running it is with the particular random roll that they got. No one is ever happy with the roll. And they're like, oh, what a mean seed, what a scam, what a nonsense. Because, you know, there's 400 items and 300 of them are like 1 rupee, 20 rupees, a single bomb. And yeah, like, you're signed up to be frustrated. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I go into the Super Metroid randomizer expecting to get my ass kicked with half of nothings.
I kind of do hope, though, that, like, I have a lot of enjoyment that I do get out of, like, the idea of taking a game and being able to re-experience it in, like, in a new manner, you know, the base randomizer experience of, like, you know, letting you recontextualize, you know, like Milliken's sword here, you know, bits like that, and that's the part that God, skeleton handing off Lubican Soul is the part that is the spirit of the randomizer I want to see more of in places.
Mm-hmm. Well, allow me to introduce you to the concept of the challenge run, where you get to experience the same thing in a new way entirely without any kind of randomization whatsoever, aside from what you bring to the experience. For instance, later tonight when I go back to Darkest Dungeon with only 4 character classes, try to do my best.
I'm reminded of the second time I ever played Aria, because the first time was on stream, and it was just I had watched you play Aria 20 times, so I knew the game. But I knew the game in a dumb, like in a like strange.
all the skips, and like, oh yeah, and then you just sort of like gotta
like,
clip through the ceiling to get there to get this powerful weapon.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, why am I not doing that? Hold on. Wait.
Well, you have the tools.
Yeah.
Like, you even have backstep. It's possible. I have done it a couple times. It's possible to do without backdash. It's a lot harder.
I'll keep saying it.
That's a big part of that. That's a good point in Burnhead, where like one of the things that again I guess did get me to care about the randomizer for Link to the Past in the first place was that it was when you had a good set of people kind of talking about it. It was a fun watch. It made for a like, you know, watching like a race between 2 people, or like, you know, when there were things like that, it was a
right. And then, you know, they get to outsource commentary in some cases to other people who are also decently expert at it and be able to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's honestly where I would want to see the GDQ version of it improve greatly, because, you know, even in a like best case scenario, we're talking like what 2.5 hours of something, and like keeping commentary up for that amount of time is not easy.
Yeah.
And like after hour number 1, they've already shared with you every bit of knowledge that they have about the tech or whatever, and it's just a matter of like picking out the items. So maybe like what I actually want out of LTTB Rando is like a version of the game that only has 200 item locations.
Right, and I think and then we come back to it's called Super Metroid, right? Like,
yeah, then it's just I want the Super Metroid.
But wrapping back around a little bit, the second run I ever did of Aria, I just did a low-level run where I tried to speed run up to Graham as fast as possible at like level 7, and like it was like fighting Graham with Levitain, doing 7 damage a hit.
Yikes!
No.
Yeah, that was the second run of the game I played.
I'm surprised you still like this game if that was your second experience with it.
Anyway, like, just wrapping back to what I was gonna say, like, I'll keep saying it until the day I die. The Aria randomizer is probably the most successful cocktail of ingredients for a good randomizing experience. Like, the game is perfect for it.
Khalidbolg.
Yeah.
Woof.
Version of LTTB Rando that doesn't have dungeons. Ooh, alright. Oh god, I forgot how the bird wiggles.
They would go a long way to doing like a good thing for like what I would want. I mean, of course, the game is structured around going into dungeons and collecting like MacGuffins, right? But you would cut out a lot of item locations and a lot of really fluffy ones. For instance, like all the dungeons still have their own map and compass, which are just not in the least bit useful items anymore. Once you basically need high-level expertise about all that to where those are just not useful anymore. And
Because this compass has a new feature.
I never knew what the new feature was supposed to be, or what it's comparing itself to. Like, is it like compared to the compass in an NES game?
Yeah, I guess
Like,
it's
do
like
something
just
there?
Link to the Past, because like I was in the same boat as you, just because like I had played the Oracle games before Link's Awakening, so this sort of shit was secondhand to me. So I didn't know what the new feature was.
My Link's Awakening like that, I think that's still, like, pre-Link to the Past? Like, is that old?
It was Game Boy Color.
No, it wasn't Game Boy Color, it was Game Boy. It had a Game Boy Color
Oh, no,
re-release.
sorry. Yeah, you're talking about Link's Awakening. Yeah, that's super old then.
Does Link to the Past say, like, Zelda 3 on it, like Super Metroid does?
I don't
Think so?
think so.
Like, it did have the open and crawl and stuff, and
Okay,
I
people
believe
are
Zelda 3 snuck in
multiple,
there.
multiple people are saying it's Link's Awakening is after, so...
Yeah, I mean that's what I understood back when I liked those games.
Alright.
Yeah, come to think, Link's Awakening would probably be an interesting randomizer too, because it had a lot of versatility to its like movement verb pool, thanks to the Rock's Feather and like the taking the Chain Chomp Bow Wow out for a walk. The fact that you could like combine buttons, like you didn't always have sword equipped; you had to like manually equip sword.
And you had bomb missiles.
Yeah, you could equip like bow and bomb, and then then you just have the bazooka.
Link's Awakening had a lot of character to it.
You're taking on the multiple lubricant dance, and
Luckily for me, I have the power of lubricant on my side, so... Skeletons were dropping that soul. Alright, feet.
Yeah, this is the hand and foot room. It's very silly. I think it's easy to forget, like, just how much goofy bullshit is in this and other Castlevania games. And, you know, write them off as like, oh, they're dark and super serious. And then, you know, other games that try to adopt that tone, like Dark Souls itself being essentially a 3D Castlevania, you know, reintroduces the silliness when you find your first mimic and start laughing your head off because it's so amazing. God, I love mimics.
Yeah, a lot of it is just like, you're not entirely sure whether or not it is intentionally supposed to be silly, or is just like the developers having to do things, like,
I don't think they put these like
silly.
these like little warp effects on like a hand and foot to be intentionally comedic. I think the idea started life as like, okay, we need some kind of challenge rooms in our arena, right? And we're gonna, you know, gonna make it an obstacle course. So what do we got? Okay, well, what about like the Double Dragon thing, where there's like shovers in the background and they pop out? And it's like, oh, how do we do that? Okay, well, make it a statue, but the statues move. That's spooky, right? Yeah, no, moving statues are definitely spooky. Okay, done.
I can't slide, so I can't do that room.
Yep, the room that in the official notes for this randomizer is called the worst room in the game.
Huh.
And by official, I mean the when you make a custom seed, all of the locations are named.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
I like that is like a consistent thing. Like, again, the worst room in the game in Super Metroid, you know?
Yeah.
The one in Lower Norfair where you're climbing, like, right after the golden statue.
Well, in that case, most of the time you have screw attack and space jump, right? If you do have those tools, then that room ain't that bad.
Yeah, but I do know in the it's specifically within the like community of like speedrunners, randomizer players, that room is just known as the worst room in the game. Like that's.
I do love nicknaming rooms. Also, that's pretty great.
Alcatraz, the Gauntlet.
Yeah, even like parts of rooms. All right,
Capcom just sort of
more than
devolved
enough
into their
pepper to
arcade
take down
instincts and left to themselves.
Let me quick. I'm gonna make this Nightmare Soul game permanent. Quick.
I don't know why I keep drinking ginger beer. Every time I take one sip, it like immediately attacks my esophagus. I'm like, ah. But I love it.
Okay. All right. All right, good old Baylor.
One of these days, Bat Company will be real. You know what I would... Oh, man. Oh, gee, now I have to, like, somehow put that in the game where we have the double fake out, and it's like, Baylor crushes Bat Company, and then, like, Bat Company comes back and destroys Baylor, and then you're fighting Bat Company.
Right, like, after the first phase ends or whatever.
Right.
Sort of like that bit in God Hand where you suplex somebody and then they suplex you and it's just like reversed forever.
Yeah, the guy in the gorilla suit who might actually be just a gorilla in a gorilla suit. I think that's textual. The zipper is definitely textual.
They had some moves. You had to admit, they're kind of cool.
Alright. That was fairly clean. Boss randomizers are pretty nifty. Wow, that's a prize and a half. Go from Silk Robe to Eversing. Nice.
If you like toughness, here.
Thanks.
Level 19 with basically a viable endgame weapon armor relic.
Yep. Yeah, it was one of the more recent Fest streams that Loon did. There was discussion about like randomizing bosses in FF5 and like randomizing which boss was where and such. But the part that got everyone thinking was the idea of randomizing who shows up to save you with Necrophobe. Because you can just put whoever boss there you want, you know. It's just
it's like Adamo shows up.
Like I can't believe it. That's Xnet's music. Yeah, it's
Oh no, Crayclaw shows up and doesn't win. And it's like, oh no.
It just Crayclaw shows up and instantly dies.
Yeah. It takes like 2,000 damage and then goes away.
Boss randomizer as from Sekiro is the most enchanting part of that run. Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, Sekiro. Like when I heard the idea of like a randomizer for this, I'm like,
I could not figure out in the life of me what would be randomized in that.
Because you just sort of like grapple everywhere anyway.
Well, like you only have one weapon. Like
Triton is kind of a good walking around soul.
I guess that might be in. There's gonna be like if I'm at full health, pulling that out over a lubricant's gonna be more effective.
Yeah, I mean it's probably going to be more effective than lubricant until you get to like 25% HP.
What are we looking at? Exactly on par.
Oh, well, okay, I'm wrong. fine.
I didn't expect that. All right, so any lower than
Huh. Yeah, closer to like 60%. Wow.
Lubricant's messed up.
Definitely a bullshit soul.
Yeah, because it directly is stats equal to like the percentage of missing health.
Right.
16 strength or danger, Mario.
Yeah. See, now that you know, I'm actually quite glad, Burnhead, that you mentioned the boss randomizer bit about Sekiro, because I just, for the life of me, could not figure out. Like I watched you playing through the randomizer for a good like while, and it just seemed like you were playing Sekiro, and I was just very confused as to what could be any different other than like location of gourd seeds.
I honestly think that the most miserable randomizer I have seen in recent memory was the Dark Souls 2 randomizer, where it was just like it was very little different from a normal playthrough, except you had to be very perspicacious about getting absolutely every item that you could.
Oh, that game has a lot more like strange keys, right? Just from...
It does. And you also have like options for how to proceed if it comes down to that. So if you just get like 1 million souls or something. Then...
Wario Land 3 randomizer. All right, I'm not familiar with that one. I'm only familiar with 4. But Dark Souls. Is there a Dark Souls? There's a Dark Souls 3 randomizer, right?
Yes, there's a Soul of Cinders.
Okay.
That one also looked pretty miserable, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I was more interested in like some of the more full conversion bits rather than like just a randomizer for that. Like somebody actually changing up the game for
Yeah, like making a bunch of modifications to the game base and then randomizing it.
What we need is like easy access to like level editors for these 3D games. That would be the spice.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, mentioning that no played through the randomizer. Now that you mention it, I do remember those streams. They just, to me, felt like somebody playing through Dark Souls 3. Like... it's like, okay, yeah, things are random, but like, very quickly, you land on kind of like, there's only really, like, there's very little, with Dark Souls 3, there's not as much of like a, you're going in X, Y, Z, you have like 4 different directions you can go in and a lot of different goals. It's kind of a straight line with one break in that critical path. When you have the choice of going to the cathedral or the other way through Farron.
I'll take your word for it. It's been a long time since I played that game. I'm like,
I have actually never played it, so...
One problem with later From Software games, you start with fast travel. Yeah, like... That, like, when you always have that, it makes it harder to I know that's something we've kind of mentioned a lot, is like, how the existence of the Lord Vessel in 1 means you kind of have to know how to navigate before you get far enough to... Well, I'm already at...
Yeah. Souls 2 and 3 were interested in testing different skills, and that's why they don't have the, like, big contiguous world map. And, like, no game that I've played does that anymore.
Somebody, I wish I remember who made the comment, but it was like, I was talking about how in Dark Souls 2 there's that bit where you go up to the top of Poison Tower and then you get on an elevator and go up from the top of Poison Tower on the top of a mountain, and then you're in Volcano Iron Keep, and somebody just like responded to that like with like, why doesn't the elevator go down? And my brain broke. Because why doesn't the elevator just go down? Like, you're on that elevator for a good 15 seconds. It feels like a while. I wish I remember who like tweeted that at me, but all of a sudden I was just like, wait, what? No, oh no.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Your head is suddenly forced to try to make sense out of something that does not.
Right.
Like, it has no even like interest in attempting to make sense. Which I've heard like explained away, like lore explainer style analysis as, oh well, see, the world is like in Demon Souls where it's hazy and it's substantial and all that, and the boundaries are breaking down and all that. It doesn't need to make sense. And I mean, like, it fundamentally doesn't need to make sense. But one of the good parts of Dark Souls 1 was feeling like everything was connected, like you were in a real place.
Well, the other bit there is that's like in Demon Souls, that's
Demon Souls makes it explicit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's heavily textual. It's there.
Yeah.
You know that's what's going on.
It's like the first cutscene where they explain about like fog gates. And in every other game since, fog gates have just sort of still been around. Just, people have played Demon Souls. They know what these are about. Like, even Sekiro has fog gates. Like, what the hell? Do you guys not know how to make a different kind of, like, door?
What kind of door would you change that to?
Lock the door. I would make it a theme appropriate locked door. There are lots of kinds of door.
Sekiro does like one, at least with you don't have that for like going into a boss arena you've already fought though, right? Like that's not.
No. In Sekiro, the fog only appears to like prevent you from like leaving boss areas, and it's subtle to the point where unless you're looking for it, then you can imagine it's not there. But it also shows up for things like the first chained ogre that you meet, and that feels really arbitrary. It's like, well, I would much prefer to ignore this man. Why can't I leave? And then you find the fog, and it's like, oh, found the fog.
Flame Demon wants blood. So we're not on any knowledge yet, but we're on power, so...
Oh man, okay, so the stressful part of having no knowledge is that it kind of makes you go back and think, okay, what have I picked up from a sconce?
Right? You know, like, I know Nightmare. I picked that up from one. But, like, I don't remember any... I don't know if I even picked up any Blue Souls. I got that from... I have not gotten a Blue Soul out of a sconce.
Well, I mean, flying armor must have.
Oh, true. Sorry,
I think it technically can be the like required thing. I'm pretty sure it can be.
I've not seen it as. I don't, because like flying armor's not an enemy in this game to have a.
Correct.
You don't have
There's no monster flavor text in the bestiary.
My brain.
It's the only non-gray mobility soul, isn't it?
Black Panther, I guess.
Yeah, like that one is more specific to the randomizer than it is to the actual game. But like flying armor is just like, oh, here's this nifty mobility thing that you get early in the game that will help you get to Malthus.
Yeah. You just want to have some.
Yeah, Undyne is yellow.
Yeah, because with the Yeah, well, Black Panther just fits because it's also not an enemy. It's not like a... There's no...
Yeah.
Correct.
But, sorry,
They went and changed that in the follow-up game to this one.
Like
Dawn of Sorrow. Both Flying Armor and Black Panther appear as enemies.
When I mentioned Flying Armor as an enemy, the like Dawn of Sorrow boss music just started kind of playing in my head.
Bum,
Bum, bum. Alright, what do we got?
Shit, I messed up the seal. Start the music again.
Giant skeleton can get that.
Yeah, throw a big skull at it, that'll work.
Okay.
Well,
Around here, that ain't bad.
yeah, I'm trying to think what that adds to your capabilities. I mean, it's half of the way there to breaking into the Forbidden Zone, which is nice.
Yeah. That's... Right now I'm heading over to, just grab the warp over there.
Indeed, and along the way, I'm sure nothing can possibly go wrong.
Yeah, there's no problems over here.
This whole hallway contains 0 problems. We have checked it for problems, and we have double-checked it for problems. And we're very confident that no problems remain.
0 problems found.
0 problems.
Alright, over here we've got... Gungnir? Excuse me.
Gungnir is another one of those weapons that sadly never gets its time in the sun in a vanilla playthrough. If you had found it a little earlier, it might be a consideration, because it's actually pretty cool. It may only look like 86 attack power, but there's multiple hits in there.
Yeah.
And its range is bigger than it looks.
I have a memory of, watch that is enough. I have a specific memory of a run fairly recently, like, within the last, like, year or so, where, like, Gungnir was the weapon of choice, and it was just like, why have I never seen this weapon used? What the hell? Let's go finish Dance Hall. I just got the slide, so I can...
Spears in general just kind of get a bad rap in Aria of Sorrow.
This one's a lot better than any spear, though. Like, it doesn't have the same... It doesn't have the same kind of, like, shadow issue, where, like, the wind-up on, the big one, Ronginus, like, means that it only hits, like, it doesn't hit close to you because you kind of pull it upwards. I'm going well, MC Subtle. We've got power. I picked up from beating Baylor. We got Eversing, and I have Calig Bulk, but now I'm just using this weapon instead because it's rad.
Just shoot a plasma bolt.
We need flight. We need knowledge.
Yeah,
we need Skula.
We're still missing basically everything required for, you know, completion. I have no knowledge, no top floor access, no Skula.
But yeah, but we got some power.
We have basically everything but that.
Oh, potion! How nice.
I don't actually have dive kick to Ule across the... I like this lightning spear so much that I focused on spears when first playthrough at Dawn, hoping it was in there. Aw. Well.
Yeah.
Like, it just 4-hit Creaking Skull there, so...
Well, I mean, at least you had the spear weapon arts in that, and it was pretty good. It was like this double stat, I think. So you could do, like, land cancel into weapon art cancel, and as long as you were at the right range, like they were probably... Ooh, knowledge. Mm-hmm.
Demon with a fear-inducing gaze.
Oh my.
Just gonna quick check through my soul set. Huh.
Man, how does this game still surprise me?
Like, I don't immediately know who that is.
Alright, I was like, how many demons are there in the game? There's like the Malabranch, but
Yeah.
unless we like expand our knowledge of demons.
Yeah, see, the thing is, Duetic, though, God of Olympus is on too.
Olympus is blue.
So
yeah,
that was my first thought too, is something like Cockatrice, or because like a gaze just makes me think of like a
right.
Well, I thought Catoblepus was yellow.
Wow.
Oh, no, it's
No,
blue.
the blep was blue. It's got the petrifying breath.
Hold on. Tsuchinoko real.
You leave that poor dumb snake alone.
I love Tsuchinoko. Alright, let's go check out the top of this area. Nightmare is putting in work.
It basically
Just throw a
overperforms.
hitbox at them.
It's a huge rectangle. It's very direct.
It double
It
taps.
bypasses walls. It double taps. It's fire, which is a good damage type.
Which Castlevania has the best motorcycles? Which of the N64 ones has the skeletons?
First one.
Yeah, that's probably it then.
Yeah. There's an implied end to the sentence rather than just asking which Castlevania has the skeletons, but... Sorry, just,
It's still kind of wild to me that,
you know,
like,
I have to think on this one. Which Castlevania does contain? Alright, which Castlevania has the best...
Castlevania has Dracula in it.
Which Castlevania has the best skeletons? What is the best Castlevania skeleton?
Ooh.
Well, that's a tool that I can help with. I created a skeleton selector ranking machine,
Okay.
and you know you go through it, and it gives you like this or that with like better
Yeah.
skeleton, right? And then you eventually like sort all the skeletons.
Because like, there's so many strong skeletons. In this game, you have kicker and waiter skeleton. Excuse me, I need you to come over here, please.
In Harmony of Dissonance, they made an entire area of the game that was all skeletons. It was really great. As a matter of fact, they made 2 areas because there are 2 layers to the map in that game.
Yep, bartender is another one that comes up. Oh, thank goodness.
That's kind of the same energy as Mega Man 4, where they had the one Wily stage that was nothing but nets.
Alright, we got a couple Warhammers, and... yeah, we're at -1 right now. That was the first one. We found grapes in, like, room 2.
Wow.
Ooh,
Devastating.
killer doll.
I'd also nominate Giant Club Skeleton in this game as one of the really good skeletons just because of the blue soul.
Oh, like getting the giant club.
Yeah, getting giant skeleton arm in your back with the giant skeleton club.
Yeah,
Well, let's see.
I can't.
Like you said, no kicker, so we can't get up into the ceiling.
Yeah, I can open it, but I can't.
Cannot obtain it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother.
It would be best done with different weaponry, I think.
also want to quick get myself, it's not this one, it's the next room over, but I better get myself set up to get through the floor.
Skeleton firing squad is also a powerful one.
Hey, there's Skulo.
Excellent, we need that.
Very slowly break through this floor. Okay.
Spoiled milk.
I don't have time stop or I don't have time stop or anti-time stop, so I can't make it through there.
Galamoth.
Yeah. Oh, let's head.
Yeah, I mean, time to make Headhunter into mincemeat.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a sound drubbing.
There's a bit of a shredding about to happen here. Triple tapping with this weapon.
That's just gross. In a modern game, this would be like the heads in the background would be like Kickstarter backers. That would be actually really cool.
That would actually be, yeah, that'd be a good choice. The I've been poisoned. Or I can still throw
I guess that's probably the thing that Shovel Knight was missing from the Backer's mansion. Instead of a bunch of portraits, it's just like a bunch of heads in cabinets in the background.
Down here. Down here. There we go. Several backers, pets. Yeah, see the one I remember from Bloodstained is the one of the cat. There's just the cat portrait. All right.
There was just like an enemy that was a big, huge cat, right?
Yes, there's an enemy that's just a large cat that sort of bats at you. It's just sort of there. Alright. Yeah.
Oh, which reminds me, I get to have a Zoom call with a cat tomorrow.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Maybe get to like go get it later this week.
Excellent.
And then I have a cat. Well, another cat.
The
Shaq will have friend.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully. I mean, I'm gonna keep them separate for like at least 2 weeks. Because they need to acclimate to each other.
yeah.
Isn't that right, buddy?
They'll like realize there is another cat in existence.
My own cat may possibly have a new friend. We've seen a stray kitten that's come by to eat some food. So we've been just, like... Yeah, just letting it run around,
Agreed, Burned Head.
Yeah, the Zoom call with the cat is apparently an important part.
Like,
I'm just going through the motions at this point,
like,
and trying not to think too much about it.
you have to the interview process with the cat.
This whole process has felt like a job interview. Like, I had to give references. Well, I didn't have to, but I was, like, allowed to, and I'm like, okay, I mean, there are people who know that I take care of cat, sure.
Here are a list of people who can vouch for cat.
I'm surprised he didn't just, like, throw the skull downstairs to, like, get that one. I guess he wanted to, like, chop through the ladies.
He kind of wasn't even
Climb
thinking
that
about
way.
it.
Ah. It's okay.
I want the warp. That's the last bit here. Having everybody, again, this... I know I have Kellig Bulg, but... Oh, hold on. Come on.
Ah, Keoma Demon. I'm glad that Keoma Demon got a glow up in the follow-up game.
Game of Doom is a cool concept.
That's one of the coolest bosses in that game.
Yeah.
Well,
Meanwhile, Baylor, ooh.
well, okay, yeah. The, what am I even doing over here? I like the usage of that going through mirrors and such, and also there's a lot of good fights actually in Dawn.
They're decent boss fights. Almost all the enemies are just worse. They're slow, they're lame, they do a little like happy dance when you're just meeting them, and then they attack. It takes several seconds for most enemies in that game to bother attacking you.
I think that's kind of the problem with me going back to Dawn, because it's just like, there's obviously a lot of good stuff in there, and then it's just like, how much do I feel like fighting gimmicks?
Yeah. It is a whole lot of little unimportant improvements and some pretty big losses, unfortunately. Like, it's kind of how I think of Dawn.
Like, I will, like... I realize that having Skula as, like, a not, you know, having it not on yellow is, like, the biggest one in my mind, but even the, like, swapping souls would have been enough to fix that, or the soul loadouts. But I'm not a huge fan of the weapon upgrading process in that game.
Where you have to, like, bounty hunt for, like, particular souls
Yeah.
in order to, like, improve your weapon. Yeah. Honestly, that was one of the parts that I did like, because rather than, like, finding new weapons, it was on you to, like, find the correct monster to improve the category of weapon that you liked. But the part that I didn't like was that I always ended up using katanas, because they're just good, and you can, like, landing cancel triple tap, and it's just like...
Yeah.
It's kind of the reason why I like the way Aria does it, because Aria is just squarely procure on site, don't worry about it.
-2. -2. Average to small cat and large cat, average out, yes.
Well, we'll see. I have not interacted with new cat yet.
Right. That's
We'll
the
see.
that's the
We'll
purpose
definitely
of,
post pictures.
purpose of Zoom call. Which again,
I think cats understand Zoom calls.
I'm not sure they do. I can't really get Shaktual interested in any kind of screen. I think he just doesn't understand them. There was one, when Bibi was still around, she would react to very specific things on television. If anyone ever closed a door in a television show, she would hate that. Just immediately start barking. There are enemies at the gates, and she, the noble dog, must defend us from them. But then there was one time where we were like reviewing some of the like stream that we had just done, and we were on screen, and she got interested in that because she's like, what's this? It's different parents, and that was kind of cute. And the only other thing that BB has reacted to at a television, as far as I know, was the end of Night in the Woods. She fucking hated the end of Night in the Woods. She was so mad. I don't know what the hell it was doing, but she didn't. It's like it wasn't making any kind of noise. It like visually looked similar to the rest of Night in the Woods that she hadn't even reacted to. But like, I think like she had been paying attention to the plot and didn't like the reveal at the end, and just felt betrayed.
God.
My dog does not like the end of Night in the Woods.
everyone's a critic, I suppose. Okay, there we go. Finally, remembered the dang way to get where I was trying to go.
Hmm.
Took me a while to remember the actual,
Yeah, the teleporting nonsense gardens. Oh, but potentially important. We got a yellow soul there.
Okay. Ah, Tsuchinoko.
We found a pile of money.
One sec, gotta check something real quick.
That one's a mimic. I realize that I'm on enough of a delay that I can't actually warn you.
It's good. I just get the air guitar every time I find one. That's just how it works. Alright, right, 2, 3, and then left, and then we're there. Okay, good. Yeah, so this should be here.
Mandragora is a frustrating little thing.
Because you have to,
Like,
like,
the enemy
wait.
concept is actually, like, cool and neat, and I like it, but you have to, if you want to collect the soul Mandragora, you have to kill the root, not the skeleton that's pulling the root out.
And that makes the timing.
Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious.
Okay, see, I never actually knew that. Because that's like... The whole point is that the skeleton is pulling up... the skeleton is taking up most of the screen time. You think the skeleton is part of the enemy.
I mean, the skeleton is, but
Yeah,
not part of the...
It is, but you only get the soul if you beat the root.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you would... I guess you would have experienced that if you had, bothered to get the Chaos Ring either one or multiple times.
You're right, for all souls.
Yeah. Ugh. We have a non-physical damage type against bomber armor.
Yeah,
Let's
that's...
go. They should have made the, like, skeleton drop a regular skeleton soul. In Dawn of Sorrow, they have the farmer skeleton who casts seeds and they sprout into Oon, Corpseweed, or Mandragora, and it's up to you to tell the, like, subtle differences between them while they're sprouting, which is kind of cute.
That's another one of my favorite skeletons is farmer skeleton.
Skeleton. I love that all the different skeletons imply that, you know, if you have a profession in life, then when you become a skeleton, you keep it. It's like, better train up in archery. You don't want to be like a regular skeleton during the skeleton war.
Yeah, I was about to say, like...
skeleton archer.
I was about to say, like, are you anchored to the profession if you die during it, or if you really like it?
I think it's...
I think you have to be, like, formally trained. Like, you have to be decently expert at, like, farming or archery or whatever.
They're not going to give
I
any...
mean, like, dress for the job that you want, not for the job that you have, right?
Yeah, but they're not going to give any skeleton a motorcycle. You got to have your license. If you always figured... Again, I think you can if you really wanted to, but, like, you gotta get there. Anyway, here's death. This weapon's... not exactly nice here, but pretty good. Also, my armor's unreasonable.
Yeah, okay.
Taking one.
I think we have this one in the bag.
That's a good question. Which job is beam? Come on down.
Where's the correspondence course I need to find and to teach me how to shoot deadly rays?
Oh my
Do
goodness.
you have to be like a nuclear physicist or something?
You only get beams if you're like a CERN operator, like...
It's like, I have been exposed to so many gamma rays that now I am the beam skeleton.
Well, I think the other thing too is that Symphony of the Night clearly distinguishes between skeletons that can fire beams out of their person and skeletons that carry giant skulls that fire beams.
Well, yeah, those are two different things.
Right, right. But like, I don't know that that's a job I would want in the Skeleton War. Like holding up the sedan chair for a siege weapon. That sounds like a Mugs game, Nate.
What if I was the siege weapon? I don't need to carry something.
See, that's the dream. Is like to be the siege weapon. Then like poor dumb jamokes get to carry you around for eternity while you wage war on other skeletons. Can I just write a novel that's the Skeleton War and like talk about this shit endlessly?
Yes.
Yes.
You actually can just write a novel titled The Skeleton War.
The Skeleton War.
And go on about...
With no humans, like the entire cast of skeletons.
You know, you'd even get to have, like, it works really well for a, having like a character who's going to be a really good entry point. You know, hey, here's this new skeleton, and we have to teach them all about the Skeleton War. You know, like they get to see.
Oh, right. Like someone like digs them out, and there it's like, yep, I was a gravekeeper in life, so
yeah.
Here I am. Well, we have to figure out what you were good at.
Yeah.
Peaceful skeleton realm attacked by helicopter.mp4.
Now, this item is one that I go out of my way to not have to collect.
Both of these are... So these two items right here, both of these are, like, two of the most, like, remote items in the game. They both have, like, requirements that don't match the area you're in. Like, so, you know, Skula is, you know, in no way necessary to get here in the first place. Presuming the novel features sexy pirate skeleton. I can't speak to that, but I can assume.
That might take a bit of a turn. I don't know how to have like a shirtless, sexy skeleton on the front. But
that sounds like a challenge to me.
I'll commission a very talented artist to be able to do the rendition of that. But I had envisioned originally the Skeleton War would not be a romance. Just
and like, you know, that's pretty reasonable.
Recognize places in which time has been stopped. That gives us a direction.
Yeah,
I like having that from the randomizer when it finally happens.
I want to get out of this stupid room. Hold on. Oh, we're at it. I was about to unequip my armor.
That room is a crystallization of the difference in genre between early Castlevania games and these, like a golden age, silver age, some kind of age of Castlevania games. Because that same room basically existed in Castlevania 3.
Yes.
And because of how everything worked in that game, it was in final stage, and jumping from pendulum to pendulum was one of the most difficult things you could do.
Yes.
And like just seeing you like fall into spikes multiple times, hop, and then change hop direction in midair, and then a second time with a double jump to try and land on the pendulum, which takes up a larger amount of the screen. It's, I don't know. Like if I could show that image to my child self, who played a bunch of Castlevania 3 as a kid, I would.
What? I
think it would blow my mind. It's like, where's the challenge in that?
Why are the numbers popping out? You should just be dead. You touched a spike.
Right? How do you have 300 health? You only have 16 health, and they take it like 4 and 5 at a time.
Wait, you're allowed to get health back?
What?
So, Galamoth. We also do just have Skula, so the whole of underwater is on.
Well, you kind of cheated your way into most of it at this point, right?
It's basically the cache, right?
Yeah.
The cool-ass room and friends.
That's another area that I intentionally try to avoid, but yeah, it does exist.
That's on my list of areas I'm always trying to not go to. Mostly because I forget how to get there too often.
I mean, it doesn't help that there are multiple ways in, and kind of makes a big loop.
Alright. Oh,
Lightning, sadly not effective against lightning at all.
okay. Nothing here.
Oh.
I'll take that drop, though.
Pretty good drop.
Drop a super potion. Alright, so... I guess it's water time.
It's kind of gotta be...
We're still looking for ups.
Yeah. There's like one item in Dance Hall you didn't get. You can't get.
Yeah.
You got inner quarters pretty well cleared out.
Yep.
Because you have flying armor, it could be possible for you to get to Hot Tub Time Machine. And there's one other item up there too.
Oh, can you actually, like... Though...
I think with flying armor and double jump you could do it.
I was gonna say that shouldn't be open, but I actually do have school, so, like,
Yeah.
that would be legal now.
That's now in logic.
Now legal. Legal and illegal moves.
Did you get gargoyle item?
No, I did not.
That's one I usually forget, because you kind of have to like go back with stuff, but you should be able to get it now, I think.
Yeah, let's quickly... I mean, we have a warp right here. This is the easiest, return trip.
Now, this is the part of the game I love. This is like playing Safecracker with, like, what are you missing? Where can we go? What did I forget? That kind of thing.
Okay, we got one number. Now we gotta find context clues for the next few.
Yeah, this is kind of like an escape room, right? where am I looking?
Is this enough to get up there?
Should be. I think so. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I think I need Black Panther or, height for that.
Okay, I was thinking of, like, some other kind of damage boost. Shoot. Well, okay.
Yeah.
A place that we have not gone to keep in mind, I guess.
Alright. Yeah, because, like, when we get height, that could just be, like, a book up there.
Javelin Study are always kind of weird to me, because they're, like, the least interconnected of the areas.
Okay,
I
hold
feel
on,
like you have to
I
go
have
out
an
of your
idea.
way more than any other area.
I have an idea. We should actually check out Forbidden Zone, just in case the thing behind the waterfall is a soul.
I think I'm actually going the wrong way if I want to get to, the cache, right?
So, like, cool S?
Yeah, is that up from here?
I mean, it is generally speaking up and kinda to the right. But I don't remember if this directly connects.
Okay, no, this isn't where I want to be. Alright, let's go... touch that and then head back. Because I actually want to enter this from, the top, not the bottom. Get out of the way. So I don't know if you got this, if you saw this at all, Kaz, but I did get to, I finished my Fiesta not yesterday, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And, it involved Christelle.
I was told.
Yeah.
I am frankly over the moon about that fact. I feel like it is vindication for my past self who came up with that cockamamie plan, only to decide and learn that
Berserk
it
was-
would never have worked and was useless and foolish. But there it was, like...
Yeah, it ended up being, like, you know, Vpris brought it up, and I was like, oh, that doesn't sound like it's the solution here. And then, like,
It was a lot of backtracking for something that may not work.
a lot of, and then we kind of talked about all the options, and it's like, well, can we roll any better dice? Can we, you know, things like that? And it's like, well,
Right.
not really. And it came down to that there were two options, and the options were, okay, grunting there.
Huh.
The options were level up to let Dragoon survive through Almagest, or some silly bullshit. And you can easily assume which of those I chose. So. Alright, yeah, so we want to go, we still want to be here in the water zone, but I want to go, ahem. Ahem. I want to...
That merfolk really took you to task.
Yeah. I want to enter it from over here.
Yeah, that's typically an easier way to get to the cool S.
Yeah.
So if you just go by way of flying armor, that'll put you on a good path. And we can stay high, which will, like, it'll take us to the boat room. There's some items there.
Yeah.
You know, possibly more if there's a soul in the, like, upper part of Forbidden Zone entryway that you typically get to with a flying technique. But if it's a soul, then you can break it from the outside.
Oh, one other thing I do have access to is the second arena room.
Oh, you can slide now. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I really hope we don't have to go there. That room sucks. It's the worst one.
Yeah, if we don't, I mean, if we don't get anything here, that's...
Yeah.
That comes down to probably the next real thing.
We have like 4 or 5 item checks here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Something. Even if it's just a book, then that would feel okay.
I assume we will get a book here.
Yeah.
Oh, I want Bat, though. That's... Because Bat opens up top floor, and then, like, top floor can just have everything.
Since we can already get small hippogriff would be probably better, technically, but yeah, bat is still good.
Boy, I'm gonna have to actually do the,
Oh, you're gonna have to do the boat jump.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna need a new boat.
Yeah.
You don't want to go down there. That's not a good way.
Oh, is this, can I not see the... No, okay. I thought... Again, no, this is a different
You want
room.
to stay high around here, yeah. So, you know, get yourself a new boat and
Try that, you know,
do
flying
that,
armor.
like, long jump. Flying armor should make it possible. Then there's it looked like a soul sconce that you can collect immediately. And then we can get into the actual boat jump room after doing a first boat jump. Oh, this, you know, strange water contraption.
Yeah, I was thinking of the second room, because at the bottom of that one, you can see the forbidden area.
Yeah, I mean, you're not far enough to the right for that. So,
Alright.
go. Yeah, easy peasy.
Alright. That one's pretty good.
Baylor.
Take the taxi. Alright, here we go.
I always have a devil of a time with boat jump.
Need to be higher. Nope.
And this time we don't have a mysterious device in the background that like gives us more boats. So we have to just leave the room and reset it.
Oh, that was my second jump, not my first. Okay.
Yeah. So you have to get the mount and then jump at an appropriate moment.
It's been a long time since I've had to,
Yeah, typically we already have flight by now, right? It is technically possible with just Malthus. In a later version of the randomizer, this item became a like randomized item.
Yep.
In the base game, it's a candle that has money in it, which is like a weird thing that this game does have. But
okay, so here we are in the room that I was intending to get to.
okay,
This is, I refer to this as the cache. This is the S room.
okay, got our cool S, Kuritsuna.
Okay, so I already got the sconce on the left, so I don't have to take that one.
Okay.
The katanas and Aria of Sarha are kind of where I, like, the wires start crossing in my brain between Aria and, like, Castlevania HD. Because Harmony of Despair had some really stupid shit with katanas.
Okay. Alright.
Summons Alistor!
Alistair, huh? Alright, well, one more item to collect. Wait, maybe two.
Two more.
Two more.
Yeah, because there's the one...
There's above and below here, both in the water.
We don't have any dash souls, do we?
No.
Nope.
Dash Soul would get us 2 more items and Hunting. I go up here. Oh. Hey, okay.
It's giant bat.
We
Got
have
it.
mobility.
Well, that unlocks a whole host of other shit. So.
Yep, that puts everything on the table, basically. Top floor, almost all the locked spots that we have been able to get to. The one in the dance hall, you know, all sorts of things. So
Yeah, we narrowed it down and then found the thing. And now it's opened back up again.
So if I go down in this room, that's where I can see the Forbidden Room item.
Yes.
So let's quickly see it. It's another milk, okay. And then this item up here is... Oh! Curly.
Oh. Well now.
Okay, I guess we got our Forbidden Zone then.
How forbidden do you want to get?
Yeah. Well, let's get out of here first.
Giant bat also serves as a dodge in a lot of cases.
Yeah,
You're very small.
becomes most useful for that in Graham. That was one of the best ways to actually get out of some of the like some combinations of chandelier plus slap.
Mm-hmm.
All right. While we're here, I'm gonna be walking over to the warp back at the beginning. Giant Bat is very cute. Is Giant Bat wearing shorts?
Yes.
I presume that was its like belly fur, but it could be bat jorts.
Could
No,
be.
could have an artist's rendition of bat jorts.
Yeah.
Denim is kind of the essence of Soma's being.
Yeah, I'm going back here. Specifically, there's a warp back here, but also the other way to the underwater has 2 items for me. One, in that long hallway that you always have to go into. Like for your early item checks, and one past the man-eater to the left in that room. Don't do it. Oh. Okay, so this room here. And then this room down here. I think I just go for top floor next.
Sure.
Like
It's got some stuff.
That's got the biggest collection of items. Yeah, so this one over here. Oh. Okay.
Sherman ring. Fill out our jewelry box.
Alright, now I'm wearing Satan's ring.
Pretty good. That is Soma's fastest movement in the game.
Good old fast travel.
At full speed, you go faster than Black Panther.
I don't need to use these 2 sword arms in the front, but these ones in the back, oh, they're going wild.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, top floor. Pretty easy to get to. And then there's a lot of like one-off checks that are open up from this.
Yeah, we got Hot Tub Time Machine, we got Gargoyle Room, we got the money at the top of the arena, we got this middle room and arena.
We've got Dance Hall, Sherman Ring.
Yeah.
We've got
Dance Hall Hidden Ceiling.
I think that
That
Top
might
floor of Forbidden
cover it,
Zone.
actually.
Alright.
You got everything from Hanging Garden, you got, I think, everything from Clock Tower. Yeah, you even got the, like, extra
Yeah.
rooms in Clock Tower that I hate.
Yep. I figured I have still let them there, and I'm still looking for stuff, so can't afford to like miss those. And then yep, Final Guard's still hard hitting.
Oh, yeah, now you're finally up to the enemies who are
On
like
my level.
appropriately scaled to your equipment. Like, you take some damage. Even then, not much, really. Tasty meat, we love to see it. Well, in a video game anyway. I cannot eat tasty meat in life.
But in a video game, it heals you.
Video game, hey, I mean, do all kinds of shit I can't do in life, like fight Red Minotaur. Okay, gotta check in the ceiling over here. That's if we survive our encounter with Aranis, which is
Yeah.
not a guarantee. Our weapon is not well suited to dealing with Aranis.
Okay.
that might turn into cash.
Yeah.
Because I think there's demon mail in our future. I don't know how realistic that is. I think it's more realistic now that you got Tsuchinoko.
Yeah, it's 20% off. Okay,
Okay, so that's
top
the lower
stuff.
loop of this area. It's time to start collecting candles since we've been using Giant Bat as a dodge move so much.
Yeah.
The feeling of perfect invulnerability wearing thin as we encounter the game's most dangerous monsters.
Alright, fine. You know what? I'll fight you, Lubricant.
I almost said the dame's most dangerous monsters, which, let me tell you, what a dame.
The most gains you can possibly have.
Oh yeah.
Who's the most gains monster in this game? Red Minotaur?
Red Minotaur has some gains. I want to say that, yeah, they get the nod simply because, in addition to, like, being big and buff, they also they improve as the game goes on. Like, you fight Red Minotaur here, and he just sort of does a chop, but out in the, like, open air, they learn an axe twirl technique. So they actually, like, improve in front of your face, and that is the spirit of gains.
Indeed. Alright, let's...
I'll give a nod to Lubricant, mostly because they start to learn the value of teamwork.
Oh, man. That's true, okay.
Fighting one
No,
Lubricant,
it's real.
fighting 5 Lubricants.
Yeah, even, like, fighting 2 Lupicants is, like, geometrically more difficult than fighting 1. Complete the Dracula set. Pretty nice. Uranus is here to pop you out of the sky like some kind of avenging spirit. We still have a riddle to solve. I'm trying to, like, I'm racking my brain trying to think of, like, what a demon with a... Wait a minute. Like, Medusa heads are in this game, but... not a Medusa head that's a red soul. That's messed up.
Okay. Let's quick do this while we're here with the easiest weapon in the world for this. By the way, if you've never done that,
Yeah, and then you're done.
okay.
Even easier with that weapon than with Kaiser Knuckle because of the hitbox.
Yeah,
Kaiser Knuckle can kind of do opposite work a little bit.
this one does just is. It's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so then up here we got the last item. Speak of the devil.
Huh. I didn't mean to put it there.
All right,
Well,
now.
time to start checking singletons.
Yeah, that's fine. I expected we would have to anyway. Like, there's no way this was gonna contain like everything we needed.
Yeah, it would have to have been like both books and like the souls that correspond to them.
I'm
Or
gonna
at
assume
least,
at least
like,
one
the
book is in
information.
Forbidden Zone.
All right, I'm gonna go
Assume that we already have at least one of the 3.
souls.
Yeah. I think that must be the case. We've collected so much shit.
All right, I'm going to the arena because we have more than one check here. We have 3.
Yeah, 2 above, 1 below.
But the bat makes the below one simpler. Because you can just sort of like fly through it a little bit.
Nothing makes it trivial.
No, just
I want to stress that.
Yeah, it always kind of sucks.
The worst room in the game is in fact quite difficult at basically any skill level.
Okay, I should not... I get it. Beam Skeleton's beams are a little better than mine. You know
You were
what?
still poisoned at the time. Also, you have Undyne still equipped.
That...
So you're like, pick up some damage there.
Yeah. Round 2, alright? We're hitting pretty nice here. Just...
Well, now your health can't change at all, or you'll ruin it.
Or I need to get hit more. I mean... Damn it.
Yeah, you missed, pal.
Okay.
Feeling pretty full of the MP, though. That's probably good.
Yeah.
Armor of Fire. Okay, well, that's 2 checks out of the way.
Alright. Round 2, skeleton. Oh, okay, their friend had poison again. Alright, you know what? That's a smart move, poisoning me.
Hmm. Yeah, that was
Don't you realize you're only making me stronger, idiot?
that was Soma about to be taking on like an entire front line. We got Bale bouncing in. If we had immunity to petrification, this would be a pinch easier.
Okay.
Just being very tough helps. Ew.
That's a prize I will accept.
Nice.
Mm.
And it's got Medusa heads in one.
Oh,
That's the real business
wow.
there.
we're at a good level then, I guess.
Alright, I absolutely love to see it. Okay. Next up, let's get to a warp, and, Gargoyles is a quick one.
Yeah, they're right next to a warp. And honestly, because you just got Black Panther, it should be like a pretty comfortable doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, we have multiple items still to collect. Gotta go, gotta start working out at the library. And by this point, you've fought many a gargoyle, so their strength is not an issue. Ooh, Hippogriff? Kicker.
Kicker.
Well, that gives you access to... Well, I mean, you have that, of course, but that would give you access to the ceiling room.
Yeah, that one's also not too far out of the way, so... Then I think Forbidden Area is next on the list. Especially if the Forbidden Area outside with Bat now has, like, 4 or 5 items for us. Like, combined.
Right. I think it's 5 total and 1's fronting.
Yeah. And another was a soul container we grabbed. Or, like, through the floor, right? Oh, hold on. Ahem.
We did see what it was. And there was a soul container in with it with a Triton, I think. Trying to think what that was. It wasn't important. So, okay.
Alright.
That's what we can avoid. Hey, knowledge! It's good.
Perfect.
We needed that.
Cool. Excellent.
Reincarnation of the ancient snake god.
So that is,
Quetzalcoatl or... Yeah,
Pretty
I was
sure
thinking
that-
either Quetzalcoatl or Tsushinoko.
Tsuchinoko is discovered in the year 2035
Yeah.
by someone.
Tsuchinoko is not the reincarnation of anything. It is a novel monster.
I'm pretty sure its description is literally discovered in the year 2035 by Soma Cruz.
Yeah.
let me pull it up because I like that one. Yes, a mythical snake proven to exist by Soma Cruz in 2035. Tsuchinoko. Alright, so that's good. We have that soul. Every other monster. Yeah, that's...
Look, you have to have some sort of unmitigated, like, some sort of weird skepticism that is laser targeted toward one specific animal.
Dracula, yeah, those are real. You know, all these things, those just exist. It's like
Hey,
sushi.
do I? I mean, I believe in most animals. I'm pretty egalitarian about that. It's like, what, everyone has to decide, oh, well, I don't think goats are real, and then that's like for them. No goats.
Oh, it's milk. Right.
Ah, right. Spoiled milk.
Oh,
Okay, it's coming.
well.
Ooh, maybe we don't have to get to the Forbidden Zone.
His vengeful spirit possesses a...
Because this is a flow.
Alistor?
Might
Could
be
be
Alistar.
Alistar. I mean, we haven't fought one, so it's not going to be in the compendium. And Alistor's vengeful spirit does possess something, but a flow?
Floating.
Floating. Yeah, okay, let's go with Alistor. So we're good there. Now we just have to figure out what demons have a stare.
The demons have a terrifying stare and are not Medusa heads.
Ah, the ox-like. Yep.
Hmm.
A worm that subsists on skulls.
How much sustenance do you get out? You know what? I'm not gonna ask.
A red minotaur that grew stronger during a recent trip to hell.
It even talks about his games. You guys just nailed it.
An always angry minion of hell. Not enough calcium in his diet. Huh.
Baffling. Wait, go to Baylor? Ah!
Wow, you nailed it.
Like, it's true. I guess I don't think of Baylor as a...
We don't think of the, like, I-beam weapon of Baylor because we think about the gigantic
like,
punch.
right.
Yeah, like you think about the fist.
Alright, that's enough to move on. We've got all that. We got Baylor. We're assuming Alistor.
It's probably Alistor, and then Quetzalcoatl.
Yep. So, easy enough.
And you do have Skula, and, I mean, your weapons are pretty good. Could be improved. And your armor technically could be improved with a brief trip to the shop.
Yeah.
Might have to go grind for money or something.
I honestly think Graham is going to be fine, and we do have Calibog for Julius, so...
Well, the thing about Graham is that our weapon is not great against him because it has like low individual damage and multi-hits. So unless our strength is supremely huge, it's really not going to do that much against his high defense. So we're probably switching over to some other weapon, I think.
Luckily, I do have Lubricant Soul.
Lubricant and Triton?
Yeah, I mean, between Lubricant and Triton, I guess. Okay.
Well,
I'm saying this is going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, it's not...
Yeah.
Favorite part of this randomizer is the need to find the knowledge to complete it. Indeed.
But yeah, somehow I forget literally every enemy description in this whole game, which has like 150 fucking enemies.
Well, I
because
haven't
like,
even read them for a lot of them, like the one about the trip to hell. You know? Alright. So...
It's mostly because the information that sticks with you the most is the mechanical stuff. You remember the powers and souls.
Right, I'm gonna keep Lubricant on until we get to, actually, we're gonna... Alright, how much damage is this? The other thing is I'm not gonna get good multi-hit with this because of, positional.
Oh, yeah.
So Kelly...
You know what? 34 is fine. You're doing okay.
Oh, I have Balmung. Have I ever used this weapon?
No.
Like, in my life?
Well, now you have. It is technically a weapon. Yeah, it's kind of a weird attack pattern to it. You do have Kicker Skeleton, by the way, in case you need to, like, rebound off his head.
I'm not even remembering if I have double jump.
Okay, quick reminder, you do have double jump.
I do. I don't have Hippogriff, which is like, that's the bit that I keep reflexively doing in this fight, because that's my that's my auto dodge, is just, it's time to
slam your head into the ceiling to get out of the way of anything.
Alright, let's, this thing has reach.
Yeah. It's, it big.
Like, I'm almost in the silver gun position here. Like, it's barely out of reach that.
The training tool for getting tip hits with this thing. Man, I miss weapon sweet spots.
How did you come to possess that? Alright.
Can't believe it!
Giant bat and lubricant. And here I'm actually gonna try out, going back to Gungnir on a 35s? 35x4?
That's 140. That sounds pretty good. that does sound good. Also, it improves if you take damage.
Yeah.
Not that I would, want you to. Well, just let it happen naturally, I think, is ordinarily the right approach.
Just think of it as a nice bonus.
Alright, let's get the chandelier over in the corner, because I was in a bad position.
I thought for a second that you said chandelar, and I got a little bit of PTSD of being stuck in that world.
Alright, so we're good. And our prize is Waiter Skeleton.
Means we...
Dracula's butler.
Well, that means we have dinner sorted out when this is all over.
Yeah.
That's good.
Alright, well, we know where we're heading next. That's easy enough.
Yo, want to use, like, Gungnir on Julius?
I'm gonna
Get
try
his
it.
poise broken?
Yeah, might as well.
I remember that being just, like, hella strong, way stronger than I expected it to be. Like, just the 1, 2, 3, 4, then Julius falls back, and you're like, what the hell?
Ah! So, for those not in the know, since the Julius fight is what we're going to be doing next, and in the meantime,
Yeah.
Slyo is going to be doing his best to get there rapidly, and it won't take that long with Black Panther. A couple of things that are not obvious about the Julius fight just from looking at them. Julius's body is not a hurt box. He's one of the few things in the game that is true for. Enemies generally, if you touch them, do hurt, but Julius does not. If you touch any part of the whip, even when it's in his like backswing, that is damage. All of the whip is damage, which is why it seems like Julius's body is a hurt box because, you know, when the whip comes out, there it is. He does respond to your relative positioning, so you can kind of bait and induce him into doing things. If you strike him 4 times with your weapon, and he has not dodged, he will, in the first phase, get what we call poise broken, and you can use this to cancel some of his moves. In the second phase, he no longer has poise, and that won't work.
Yeah, so you can see there.
Yeah, he like reacted. But his dodge resets that count. His dodge is where he goes all flickery.
Julius is really cool at multifaceted fight.
So you can see he was like ducking to start to hit you with a duck. I feel the most dangerous thing he can do is do a jump toward you and start whipping, because that has effectively a massive hitbox, and it's difficult to deal with. You can sometimes squeak in extra hits against Julius when he does a dive kick and you hit him as he lands, because his like damage frames reset between when he's like crouched and when he's standing up. Julius is strong against Holy, but does not have any weaknesses, so just use your most damaging thing that is not Holy.
Yeah, which the best weapon in the game is Holy, which is...
Yeah, the Cleave Soulish is a Holy weapon. It is a very poor choice against Julius, but sometimes it's all you got.
It's also kind of why dark weapons come in handy against Julius, because it's one of the only use cases where their raw strength really shines.
Yeah. Khalid Bolg is usually what we're after, because there's a kind of pattern that you can get him into where he's just whipping you, and Khalid Bolg has just enough reach that you can like slice him in the face and backstep, and then you'll hit him, but he won't hit you.
Guess you forgot they had backstep.
Sorry, Nate.
No, it's good. You said it aloud. I was like, if you were watching that, you saw me like take a bunch of hits I had no business taking because I just completely forgotten I had the ability to dodge them.
Okay, we're into phase 2. Phase 2 is not as long as phase 1. It's like 2/3 of his health or something that he switches. And I think he gets easier because he starts doing these sub-weapon things. And most of them have like extreme wind-up and cooldown animations to them where you can like get in a bunch of hits. So that kind of makes up for him no longer having the flinch mechanic. Everything else he still does. He will still dive kick you, he will still whip you, he will still duck and whip you. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Julius is absolutely one of the coolest fights in the game.
I like the Julius fight because there just are not easy answers to this.
There's no... There's no real overpowering Julius with...
No. There's no off button. There's no, like, doing the status effect that he's weak to, and then he collapses.
There's a
He
randomizer
just-
for Dawn, Portrait, and Order. I've seen, like, all three of the
Yeah.
DS.
It is probably one of the truest tests of skill in the game. Also, a really cool spectacle.
Yeah.
The fight.
Also great music, and also...
Yeah.
It rules.
There's a lot of... we have a lot of good things to say about the Julius fight. I have a lot of bad things to say too, because I mean, pardon my French, he is a supreme motherfucker.
Julius, don't fuck around.
And I say this as someone who has probably basically mastered this fight.
Yeah, yeah. I actually should play the, like, Dawn randomizer. It has some really, nifty options where you can randomize weapons in a way that you wouldn't expect.
In case you want the money, that one was not a mimic. Just
Yeah,
One of the
I figured
one of the best
let
things about
sleeping mimics lie. Well, in this case, sleeping money, because it wasn't a mimic.
sleeping money that is not at all a mimic.
That's not a saying.
Dawn randomizer. If you do go after the Dawn randomizer, I strongly recommend not using the map randomization option. Even though it's the feature that I wanted the most, it is not fully implemented.
Oh.
So, at least, like, I don't know. When I did it like half a year ago, it wasn't fully implemented. Maybe it's updated since then, but it's just it didn't work.
Okay.
randomizers are a delicate balancing act.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in that case, that feature is just incomplete.
hmm
That's all I have to say about the matter. They give you an item that is like infinite use homeward bone, because they know it's incomplete. That one's also a mimic if you care to. Like...
That one's always a mimic. There's a 100% chance of that one being a mimic. That one's my favorite mimic. Well, actually, no, sorry. My favorite mimic's coming up.
The one in the room that's borrowed from the other room where it's always a mimic,
Yes.
and it is always a mimic.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one that's always a mimic twice. Alright, here's the skull a bit.
Just as soon as I figure out how to like cheat my way through this, then I no longer need to collect Skulla all the goddamn time. That's the only thing.
I know in the speed run they do that. Like
Yeah, I think they like giant bat clip out of bounds
yes.
for that.
Which is
I guess I could teach myself how to do that. I've taught myself every other stupid speed trick in this dumb game.
Golem.
We've collected a lot of spoiled milk. We might be equipping that.
I have 4 spoiled milk. Oh my god. I have 4 spoiled milk.
We're gonna call that Plan B.
That's definitely on
I mean,
the list
I
of
would call it
plans.
like Plan H or something.
Yeah.
The game has gone pretty far off the damn rails if we're getting to the...
Alright, and normal golem. A lot of golems around here. Hello, Stolas.
Thank you, Prince Stolas.
Just gonna pass by, no interruptions.
What a cool owl.
This is the room I think of as the most deadly room in the game.
Just multiple arc demons, succubi to hold you in place while Alistair sneaks up on you. You know, what could go wrong?
The room always just scares the hell out of me for things like that. If I wasn't wearing everything, I'd be dead as hell. Anyway.
Yeah, that one's a mimic. It's always a mimic.
Yep.
Oh man, oh no, I just realized something kind of dark about the mimics in this game.
Uh-huh.
They all have the arrow on the head that Aang has in Avatar: The Last Airbender. They're all the skull of Aang. Oh no. Dang, no.
Alright,
So that's where all of his reincarnations end up, I guess.
Yeah, that's where the Avatar reincarnations go. They all become mimics.
no, this one this one doesn't change enemy or boss locations. It changes enemy drops, soul drops, it changes... The biggest change it makes is the souls you need to get past Graham. That's the one I like the most.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Pulls you back into action.
Yeah! This weapon's unreasonable here.
Hell yes. You love to see it.
90, 90, 90. I have a lubricant that's not even active right now, too.
Yeah, Gungnir's just fucking dumb.
Isn't this the final boss? You're correct. This is the final boss.
The first phase of final boss, which is Chaos. It's the force that has been inducing Dracula to exist in the world for thousands of years, and we're finally putting it to rest.
For exactly 1 year.
You know,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Declaration of
is
War.
like the biblical apocrypha of Castlevania.
Alright, we're like under half health. Let's see how, like, let's watch Gungnir Good'll work. So, Gungnir here is just gonna... 126x3. Okay, I1 deleted.
Hey, Gungnir's fucking good, apparently. Look at this shit.
I2 deleted.
What is this shit?
My health bar deleted.
Blammo! Yeah, one part knocks you into another, you're gonna take a hit. Yeah, at any point you can just sort of check damage on the center bit. So, the Chaos fight, what can I say? There's a lot of moving parts, they overlay in sometimes unfair ways. The worm in the background can deal damage, it shoots a ball that rebounds in predictable patterns off of walls. Just sort of the classic, you know, rebounding trajectory kind of thing. The tiny orbs are on a slow chase to you. The eyeballs do contact damage. The thorns shoot out in an array, either clockwise or counterclockwise.
Here, I'm gonna show off a thing here.
Oh, the counter. Yeah, if you activate Killer Doll, the chase on the orbs, they go after the doll instead of you. It's nice.
Yeah.
Is Gungnir a drop-only weapon normally? No, it is a placed item in the game. Yeah, even with all the eyes defeated, the centerpiece still has a lot of defense.
Yeah, the most dangerous bit in this fight to me is the these little orbs. If they touch you, they do a delayed explosion, and that delayed explosion can do some heavy hitting because it can knock you into other things. It doesn't give you invincibility. Say I love Killer Doll because there's two different Killer Dolls.
Yeah, you either throw out Soma or Mina.
One of the things to note about the array of spikes is that they always fire in the same pattern that they appear in.
Yep.
So if you just take
So you can
advantage
kind of like
of that.
Also, not damage. They're not active hitboxes until they move.
Yeah.
Which is maybe the most odd thing about them. Like, you'd think the spikes are damage, but no. Like, if you need to dodge through them.
Right. So, predictably, the monster called Chaos just presents you with all this different shit and forces you to make sense of it. Defeating each of the eyes progressively removes defense from the center bit.
Yeah.
Why we tend to do that first. In case of Sly Nine's fight, there is basically necessary. Like, up until defeating the last eye, he would have been getting like, you know, like between 1 and 15 damage off of this. That's not enough for its massive health. But if
Final
you do
consensus,
have, like,
Gungnir fucking rules.
endgame weapon proven, like, there you have it. I'm kind of blown away that it was just consistently the thing we wanted to be doing for like all of those bosses.
Right?
It lines up so well, like so well. So the eyeball itself has, I think it's the center bit. When it's fully active, has something like 70 defense, close to that. Like total. And the best way you can the way like damage in this game is very like attack minus defense.
Yeah,
with a 1 floor.
Mathematical.
And the point where you see your weapons damage most cleanly is that first chaos bit where I was hitting for 90. That was just my base damage. It's 90 because I had no souls augmenting that, and those things have no defense. I think the little bit when it's fully shown has like 70 defense, and like I think it gets like double that when it's at full all 4 eyes, like close to that. So like certain heavy weapons can still hit it through like 1 or 2 eyes down, but the fact that I was doing like 30 some damage even with like lubricant on,
even with Cleave Soulish at like medium levels, I would not want to just attack the center bit. It's just more efficient to go after the pieces.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. At the very least, the bottom right and bottom left ones are super easy to get with, like, you know, you don't have to jump up and hit them.
Yeah.
If you have Medusa Soul, the other 2 aren't just as easy. That's another bit I really like about that last fight, is that there's some really odd souls that can shine. Killer Doll, actually quite good there for like getting the little orbs to just go away. Medusa, which lets you hover, is super good for hovering in front of those little side eyeballs. And then there's one other I'm thinking of, Red Minotaur.
X.
The Red Minotaur in that room is like perfectly designed to hit all the eyeballs, some twice. With like the backswing, it's very silly.
It's very big.
Red Minotaur, the monster of gains, also provides you with a very ridiculous weapon.
Yeah.
Well, how did this feel on the whole?
Good. I haven't touched it in a while, so it's always fun to go back. Yeah. Quite happy with everything up through Baylor was like, Baylor is exactly as I remember Baylor being, fun but challenging. And then like, here's Eversing, now you're on full exploration mode forever. It's like, okay, cool. Alright. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank y'all for joining. Catch y'all next time. Have a good night, everybody.